This is Chris with UpliftedNews.net. Once again, we don't talk about it, we about it. Today's show, we're going to be talking to the common folks about what's going on in the world globally. There are major issues going on right now globally around the world, and we want to know what the people think. Please stay tuned for the show, and we hope you enjoy the show and uplift you.
Hey, it's Tanya Upchurch from Southwest Philly. What I feel about the Middle East crisis and the tsunami, I really feel like we better watch out. The Lord's trying to tell us something. Everybody needs to wake up. Read Revelations. That'll tell you everything you need to know.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Chris Purnell from Southwest Philly. What do I think about what's going on in the Middle East? Honestly, I'm not surprised because, it talks about this kind of things in the Bible where it says, like, in the last days, like, wars will be happening in the Middle East. I'm saying it verbatimly, but forgive me. But overall point is that wars and things of that nature will be going on in the Middle East. And so I'm kind of not surprised about that going on. However, I am feeling the effects of it here in the United States because of these gas prices. Definitely think about getting a bike. Yeah, I think that would be pretty much it as far as what's going on in the Northeast. But with the tsunami, I'm definitely surprised because this is one of those things where I just woke up and then it just happened. I was watching the news and they were talking to somebody from Hawaii, and she's like, well, we're at high ground and we're waiting for the waves to hit. And it's like, oh my goodness, So glad I live in Philly in the northeastern section of the United States because all we get is snow, and you can kill snow with a shovel. But other than that, that's what I think about everything. My hearts and prayers do go out to everybody in the Middle East as well as in Japan. So.
My name is David Smith, and what do I feel about the Middle East? I like what's going on in the Middle East. I think it's long overdue. I think revolution is healthy. It's healthy for democracy. It's healthy for dictatorship. It's healthy for the world. I feel as though there's but so much a man's soul, a woman's soul can take in regards to being stepped on, being oppressed, being used, being abused. There's but so much an individual can take before they don't care anymore about their well-being to make a change. I think revolutions happen when people are unbelievably tired of dealing with poverty, dealing with things that they don't think their life should be like. People, everybody at the soul of their heart wants to have a good life. You don't come to this world, wanting to not live a good life, wanting not to have the best of everything. Okay, and when your soul is not getting that, you come to a decision in your life to say, whereas though, what is a good life worth? And I think the people in Libya are basically coming to that decision. They're asking themselves that question: what is a good life worth to them?
Right now.
And as of right now, they've come to the decision that a good life is worth their life. Okay, and that's when revolution begins. When that question is answered with, I'm ready to give my life for a better life. Okay? And like I said before, I think revolution is necessary. And it doesn't matter on what scale it is. Whether you at your job, whether you under a ruthless dictator, even in this country, you can make the comparison to what's happening in Libya to what's happening in Wisconsin. With these individuals, these Republicans trying to take away people's rights. The middle class in this country has been basically getting beat up for the last 10, 15 years. And at this point, you have people in Wisconsin, white, black, Republican, Democrat, saying that they tired. You know, they can't take it no more. You know, you're dealing with people's livelihoods. You know, people can't feed their families. They can't send their children to the right schools. You know, at that point, man, you begin to say the way that we used to do things ain't working. So it's time to get radical with it. You know, it's time to show folk that we're not playing no more. You know, and that's what's happening. It's not just happening here, it's happening in Libya. You know, it's happening all over the world. People are tired. The middle class is tired, you know, and they want to change. So, you know, the powers that be that are in position, you know, the powers that be that are you know, trying to keep their foot on the necks of the middle class, whether it be middle class in Libya or middle class in the States, have had enough. And what you are seeing and what you are about to see is the beginning of a revolution, okay? A beginning of a world revolution in regards to the middle class, no matter where they are. That's what you're about to see. And it's long overdue, and it's about time. And I'm ready for it. And I'm looking to lead the charge on all fronts. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like I said, this is Uplifting News. And I'm glad my man Chris put me on to, you know, share my thoughts about this situation. And I look forward to seeing y'all on the battlefield.
Good evening, how y'all doing out there on Uplifting News? Just wanted to kind of comment on a couple of the world topics today, mainly talking about the tsunami. Just want to give my opinion on that. You know, I feel like it's God's way, or the earth, or what we doing to the earth is kind of like you reap what you sow. A lot what we put out there as far as pollution, just in how we act as people, how we treat each other, and it's no different from how the elements of the world kind of transpire into that. Like if you're looking at like what you do to each other, how we treat each other. So, you know what I mean, it's just the same thing. The earth is just, you know what I mean, just reacting to what's going on. And, you know, we got to get it together. We got to do the right thing amongst each other and amongst the living creatures and what we live in. So, you know, it's just what it is. I think it's signs of the time. God talked about this. So it ain't nothing new. We're going to have perilous times. And matter of fact, you better look for more things to come. More earthquakes, more, you know what I mean, tsunamis, more, you know, typhoons, whatever it's going to be. This is going to be the normal. And I predict, and I'm not saying I'm a prophet, I'm just saying within the next few months it's going to be stuff on a regular. You already had 2 weeks ago volcanoes that was going on. Now you got this last year. I mean, you can just go back. It's everything happening, and it's what we doing to the earth, you know. And I mean, we got to look at ourselves, human beings, and how we treat it. We got to get back to the basics, and that's what's going on. Uplifting News.
Yeah, just to dovetail on what he just said, you know, he explained that explicitly, correctly, you know what I mean? He said SOTT, sign of the times. So basically, you know, the Holy Quran, you know, explains it. The Bible explains this. Got all ancient artifacts, documents, you know, all around the globe that explains this. Most of these predating the Bible, older than the Bible and the Quran, you know. So the information been there thousands of years. It's just the events is just starting to take place within the last 20 years. So actually, a lot of these things been going on for a while. You know, you seen with the first tsunami they talked about, we had events and earthquakes and things like that prior to that. So, you know, like he just said, you know, how we treating each other, you know, spiritually, you know, a lot of things that's going on. You see which way things are going now, you know. So these things are to be expected. You know, it's nothing new, you know. It's no joke.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And it ain't getting no better.
And you can even relate this even to the Middle East, you know, situation out there. The people that's ruling this world, they know what's going on, how they trying to manipulate and, you know, cause problems throughout the earth, you know. So all of this is interrelated, you know. I don't see it as a surprise right now for me, you know, being that, you know, the information that I run into, you know, all of this is all interconnected, you know what I mean? So looking at the direction that we're going in and the people, or I would call it the Masonic beasthood, you know, that has the information on all of these things, you know, that most of the masses are not privy to. And a lot of people want to have to start waking up, you know, in their studies, you know what I mean? Because it's getting that serious right now.
And like you said, you can get it from all sources. The Bible, the Quran, it speaks to that. This is not new. we got to get back to, man, how the Native Americans lived, how the Africans used to live. You know, they understood life, the cycle, man, the science of the earth, man, and we mistreating that, man. You know, we should have been recycling. You know, we act like we shocked. You know, those that are shocked are ignorant. You know, those that know, and like he's saying, that's awareness, man, we've been in the book. But you got to get into the book. Pick your John, man, your religion, the Quran, the Bible, something Buddha, whatever's going to get you right. You got to get down with it. Uplift the news. This is where it's at.
And just to, you know, even take that a step further on that too, is just the fact that, you know, when you look at this and go back into the records, this was prophesized. You know what I'm saying? So when you travel around the globe, you see ancient artifacts that break these things down, saying what's going to happen in this day and time. So, you know, those who don't know, of course, they're going to say, well, yeah, that's a bunch of hogwash or whatever, but when you do the study, it won't be no surprise. Like, you see, he just dropped it on you right there. He just dropped it on you. So, there ain't no more I can really have to say about that than what he said, you know, because he put it beautifully, you know what I mean?
We all are in tune, man. I mean, ask the creator, man. I mean, if you want to know, it's there. You can feel it. Like, I know Pope feels it. You know, we feel the turmoil, man. You can see everybody is upset with each other. The Middle East ain't nothing but people that are upset because the government is crooked. It is no different from America. You know, the situation with Obama and everything's going on. Everything is orchestrated.
They all in cahoots. They all in cahoots. The higher levels of all of them that keeping us separated, they working together. And they know what the certain catastrophes and everything is about to take place. They got their scientists working on these things. They know what the whole Pacific Ocean and the different effects of that area that's taking. They knew that years ago. Because if I know, they had to know. You know, we know, they had to know. It ain't like we know and they don't know.
Yeah.
They know. So,
nothing new under the sun, man. There's nothing new under the sun. And that's what we got to get back to, man. It's nothing new. God is already, it's already there. You know, all this is mapped out, man. You look up at the stars, it's all mapped out. This is not by chance.
Exactly.
You know, this ain't no coincidence.
Exactly.
You know, so, you know, they ain't going up in space for nothing. Harp, check it out.
Just like my man Nas says, we messing around with PlayStation, they building space stations, you know what I mean? So, you know, that tell you what they doing right there, you know what I mean? I'm glad my man here, he's definitely up on it, you know, he true indeed, he up on it. That's uplifting news, you know what I mean? I'm glad you, in effect, you know what I'm saying, to put this information out there, which is really is a lot more people out here that do know and they come into all of this right now, but it's just so many of us that don't have no awareness of none of this.
That's
so
true.
it sounds strange, you know what I mean? And make it seem like we, you know, we coming off on some wild, crazy, you know, alien tale or something, you know what I mean? It's not even about that. It's on some real serious stuff that's going to have an effect on you. And when it hit, you're going to be like a lot of the people over in Japan that didn't know.
Yeah. We spiritual people, man.
That's
you
what
gotta
it's about.
get in tune.
You got to get in
You
tune.
can feel it. You can feel it.
Indeed.
It's
indeed,
there. It's already
indeed.
there. God ain't hiding nothing. He laid it all out.
Laid it all out.
You can feel it. We all spiritual. Uplift the news. That's it. We got to get back to work.
Peace.
Southwest.